There it goes. All right. Everybody, welcome back to Big Fat Dubs. Here we are talking about the divisional round of the playoffs as they have just now concluded for the week. So we are going to get right into this, starting off with our Saturday's matchups with the Bengals upsetting the Bills.
These Saturday matchups.
I did say Saturday matchups.
I don't know why they have that kind of. I think it's because it was
I
obviously
know.
today
I
or
just
everything.
yeah. Usually they have it that way. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was going in order of the day, so I guess I'm sorry. Starting with our Sunday matchups, the Bengals upsetting the Bills. Very disappointing game by the Bills. Just unfortunately, the defense has been beat up most of the season. A couple guys getting hurt. Josh Allen not doing all that great, but the Bengals looking good on both sides of the ball.
I mean, this is more so the kind of the summary of the Bills season right now, or how it's been. It's kind of a bust season for the Buffalo Bills coming in as Super Bowl as a team that was Super Bowl favorites, and they honestly just didn't play well. And you could say a lot of things, just with injuries, especially at the safety position for the Buffalo Bills. But I think it come down to Josh Allen's play, and his performance was very bad today. And it's cost him a lot of games through the season, including today. But I will not take away from the credit from the Bengals. They actually look like a very good team. Joe Burrow is, he's not like your Patrick Mahomes style esque, but he's definitely, showing that he's a top quarterback in the league right now. So him getting the big win, going back to the AFC Championship game with the rematch with the team we'll talk about a little bit later. So great win for the Bengals and the Bills. Let's see what happens. Hopefully this doesn't cause for a lot of people to leave your organization. It should happen though.
Yeah, I mean, Bills, they're still going to be a great team, but yeah, they might be losing some good key players here, this offseason. So we'll see what happens. But yes, but overall, Bills, great season. Like I said, you're showing that you're a powerhouse. Unfortunately, like I said, you started to slide here toward the end of the season and in the playoffs. So up next, game that just finished here a while ago, the Cowboys at the 49ers. A very defensive game, as Ryan and I were both watching. Just couldn't offenses really just couldn't get going hardly that much. But yeah, the defense has played a big factor, and then pretty much a special team play helped turn this whole game around.
It was a very good defensive game. Kind of what you expected, with both teams being the top two defenses in the league this year. With the Niners showing in the very end a little bit more explosiveness, and you actually punch your ticket to the conference championship game next week. I mean, it was your about average game for Purdy. The Cowboys really get a lot of credit for controlling McCaffrey in the first half, but then one big play by George Kittle really kind of turned it around. And Dallas really never bounced back. I think it really shows how good of a defense both teams had, which can play up to their opponent next week. And the there was a couple things that got away from the 49ers defense, but ultimately they stood their ground and really controlled the game in my opinion and made a lot of great plays, coming up with a couple big turnovers. So great win by the 49ers. It's like they said on TV, it's their third trip to the NFC Championship game in 4 years, which is remarkable. And we'll love to see what happens from there.
Would you say that this is probably the first real defense Brock Purdy has actually gone up against in his start?
It's hard to say, to be honest. I think that you really can't just think that this is I don't know, like, he really didn't do a whole lot, and he was probably the most pressure that he's been in. I have to look back and see who they actually play, and I'm not going to do that right now. But honestly, yeah, it could be, but actually, it's hard to say because they've had great opponents. You can't really take away from the Buccaneers defense, Seattle's defense, the Rams. They've played some teams, but you know this was a thing for Dallas more so than anybody else because this really showed, Dallas had the one win against Philadelphia, but Jalen Hurts was out. But now it's kind of like, okay, you beat a team that was not healthy. Now you're playing a team that is healthy. How are you going to fare? And it really just showed that the Cowboys season was very much kind of very fluky. The Niners are showing that they're more legit than anything.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats to the 49ers moving on to the NFC Championship game. Now we'll get to our Saturday games with the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs. And even though it shows this was a close game, Chiefs had this game in the bag from the beginning.
Well, there was a bit of a scare. Patrick Mahomes had suffered a high ankle sprain, which took him out for the rest of the first half. Came back in the second half and got back into Patrick Mahomes' ways. But a fight for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, it's kind of one of those things where, I don't think that they're ever going to be. I don't think this was a fluke year. I think this is the start of something. This is Trevor Lawrence's second year. And he already turned the team around from a top three draft pick last year to, a conference, to a division champion and one game away from a conference championship. I think that they'll be better next year. He has shown great leadership and great, strides and everything like that. But also, ultimately, too, it just shows who the favorite in the AFC is, which is the Chiefs. It'll be a question going forward, the ankle sprain and how it will affect Mahomes. Obviously, his mobility is going to be taken out of the picture. And they have a very tough opponent in the Bengals next week. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Right. I do think, like you said, Jaguars are going to be a team that's, and especially in that South Division, that's going to be a good force. Doug Peterson coming in, turning this team around this year. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence having a better year. They actually had some really good players step up for this year, even some veterans that they had there. So definitely look forward to the Jaguars next season.
Yep.
In our final matchup, we have the New York Giants at the Eagles, and this is actually not what I expected in this game. I thought it'd be a little bit closer.
Really not much to talk about on this one because of the fact that it was such a blowout game. I mean, the Giants got one good touchdown in the third quarter, but this was Eagles from the start. Eagles they won a Super Bowl. They've been playing like it. And I think honestly these matchups for the conference championship games are very much the four best teams that you would expect to be in. The Eagles are going to be the toughest test that the Niners defense will face. They have not faced an offense as explosive. So Jalen Hurts having himself a great game on the ground and throwing and everything like that. It's good to see him kind of healthy again and all that stuff. So great win for them, beating the Giants. Giants are looking to bounce back next year and see what they can do. But ultimately, this is a really good performance by the Philadelphia Eagles, kind of showing people that they are ready to take the next step.
Yeah, definitely. Giants, like you said, looking forward to next year, especially if Barkley's going to be back with them. If Daniel Jones could get to the even next level for him, as he really did a much better job than all of his years so far this year. Like I've said, they're just literally a good wide receiver duo away from being a big threat in there, and then getting some key guys on defense to help them out. And so, yeah, I can't wait to see what the Giants here look like next year.
Yep.
All right, everybody. That will be it for this week's games. Let us know what you guys thought about them, please, as always, about them. Moving on to the conference games here for next week. As you see, we have the 49ers at the Eagles and the Bengals at the Chiefs. These are going to be great matchups. And like you said, we do have the four best teams out of the whole league going at it right now. And I think we really did expect, the Bengals and the Chiefs, one of these two teams here, or being both these teams ending up in the AFC Championship game. However, in the NFC, it could have been at least another team, some other team, but you figured, yeah, definitely the Niners and the Eagles would have been in here, definitely.
That's kind of what I expected going into this playoff, that it was going to be these four teams. with the Bills and the Cowboys being the off chances of upsetting and everything like that. However, that wasn't the case. So we're gonna start picking. We're obviously gonna start with the Eagles and the Niners. Very close game. Like I said, this is gonna be tough because this is one of the better offenses versus the best defense. And it's a true test for Brock Purdy and seeing if he can get over that hump. I am going to pick the Niners slightly beating out the Eagles. I think it's going to be a defensive heavy game. I think the defense is going to control Jalen Hurts, force him into bad plays, but force him to stay in the pocket, which is not his forte. So I'm going to go Niners over Eagles.
I'm as well going to go with the Niners as well. I mean, they have that killer defense, and I think they will be able to, yeah, like you said, help control Jalen Hurts, keep him under pressure, make it frustrating for him, and also keep him out from rolling out and getting those long runs as well. That and, I mean, I was born into the 49er family, so I'm kind of pulling for them right now. So I kind of want to see them back in the Super Bowl again. All right. What you got for the Bengals and Chiefs?
You're going first.
All right. Well, I actually want to see the Bengals actually go to make it back to the Super Bowl, mostly because I want to see the 49ers and Bengals rematch from 1989 season. So that's what I want to see.
It's going to be the Chiefs for me. I think that they are just the better team. The Bengals have all the power to actually beat him. They've beat him the last 3 times and everything like that. They have been kind of a kryptonite towards the Chiefs, but I think that this is a chance for Mahomes to actually break out from there and get him back into the Super Bowl. So my pick is
awesome. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of those teams, honestly. No. You actually can't go either wrong with any of these teams at all. Whoever makes it, I don't think we'll be surprised.
Whatever matchup we get for the Super Bowl out of these 4 teams is actually going to be a really good Super Bowl. Because whether you look at the Niners and the Bengals, 2 teams that were kind of written out early in the season to now that we're in the Super Bowl chances. If you go Eagles, Bengals, again, a very talented matchup of 2 young quarterbacks and Hurts and Burrow, and that's going to be a fun, explosive game. If you go Chiefs and Eagles, you're looking at the 2 best teams in the NFL. All year round and everything like that. If you go Chiefs and Niners, you got a rematch from a Super Bowl a couple years ago, and the Niners are looking forward for that matchup because they were so close to winning it back then. It can go either way. You're talking a lot of great matchups and a lot of what ifs and everything like that. And you have 4 quarterbacks who are all very young. These are the future of the NFL. Brock Purdy's probably the only one that is a big question mark going into this, but he's really kind of settled on his place and like that. But you're looking at 4 good defenses. You're looking at 4 really good offenses. So it's anyone's game in these 2 games, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Whether weather can play a factor, and everything like that.
It might even come down to special teams making the big plays.
You never know what could happen.
Exactly. As always, everybody, let us know what your thoughts are. Who are you picking between these teams? Who would you like to see in the Super Bowl? Please let us know. This has been really fun as always, as we've done every week here, talking about this. And now we're down to the final 2 teams here before the Super Bowl. So I know we said we were trying to keep track of our picks this season, but we kind of fell off the wagon on that. But it's just been fun doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Get on when we can, do these things, and I think just because we enjoy the game, it's something fun for us to do. Plus doing the fantasy football now and just be more involved in the sport than I ever have.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And it's been a good NFL season. As we're reaching to the end and everything like that. So again, we have good conference matchups coming up. I'm really excited for this upcoming Super Bowl. We'll see what happens from there.
Yeah. So, still staying with the NFL, are you actually looking forward to the Pro Bowl this
No.
year? Not really.
Nope.
I mean, maybe not the game stuff, but what about the skills competition?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm done with all All-Star games. It's kind of a joke. They all are. The skills competitions are fun and everything like that too. but it's they're not as entertaining as they used to be. They keep changing rules. They keep adding on these things. Um, and that's not just in football, but it's in all sports. There's home run derbies used to be you have 10 outs and all that stuff. Now you have timers. Now you're keeping scores and everything like that. Slam dunk competition. Now it's timed. It's all this. I loved it when I was a kid because it was simple, it was basic, it was,
Yeah.
The NFL. There was the target, there was the deep throw. I didn't mind the multiple different catches. One, there was the best hands, there was the strength, there was the bench press competition. They have a couple nowadays where like dodgeball and stuff like that, where it's kind of fun, but ultimately, I really just they keep changing
Yeah.
the rules and
Well,
it's
like you said, they started doing these timer things just to help speed up the whole entire show, pretty much.
yeah, but like the fun was the no timer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And
The fun was
now,
the no timer. The fun was actually like letting them loose and having fun and kind of my thing. Especially with the home run derby, it's stop complicating it. Stop really complicating it. This is more like the participation where it's like, oh well, you accumulate all that stuff where it's like I miss the days when like Giambi hit broke the record in the first round and oh you got tired, but now it's like okay, now we're gonna make sure everyone's safe and all that stuff. It's like no, it's just listen, you got out, you got beat out, you killed it in the first round, you lost it in the second round. It happens.
yeah,
The timer thing is just dumb, and the speeding
yeah,
up the thing is just dumb.
yeah, I
So.
agree. I agree.
I've lost all love for All Star games and everything. Um, it's I know it's not really competition and everything like that, but back when we were kids, they still were competing, and it was still a hard fought game. Now it's just more so a big fuck around. You
Right.
watch the NBA All Star game and everyone's just taking deep threes or slam dunks, and no one's playing defense. And baseball, they're kind of just lollygagging out there when it used to be the winner would actually host the World Series.
Right.
NHL is probably the only one that still probably keeps it together. But again, they changed it up too, where now it's instead of West versus East, now it's all by division, and it's just they complicate things. Everyone complicates.
Yeah.
This is a flag
There's no
football
change.
thing this year, so we'll see what happens. The only entertaining part is the Manning brothers, but like I don't know, it's just one of those things. Where
Yeah, I understand.
I'm not really.
I understand. I probably would just watch the skills competition to be honest.
That's really what it is.
I probably wouldn't care to watch the flag football game pretty much because it's just gonna be them throwing out bombs or some like dump passes pretty much. Nothing really special. So I don't think we more had to add on for the rest of the stream. We know the Kraken played here yesterday. Unfortunately, lost to the Colorado Avalanche 2-1. Knocked them down to second place now in the division, where the Vegas Knights now are back on top. Um, we actually have it ongoing in the background right now with the Blazers beating the Lakers. I think still right.
Oh yeah, they were up by like 30 plus points at one
So
point.
they're still playing right now. Um, yeah, Ryan. I don't know. I don't really got much more to add to this. So, got anything?
Nope. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, like, subscribe, punch that notification bell. Let us know what you guys think, and if you guys have any ideas for us, let us know. Again, we will. Really, not much more. We have a couple videos coming out this week, and we're going to be making some more. So tune into those. That's really all I got too.
Yep. Look out for Mario Monday tomorrow with our next episode of Mario Party Superstars. And we should at least have at least one bracket one we're doing. Hopefully we can get the second one going here.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we'll have that in and we'll see what else we can come up with for you guys. So stay tuned. Be safe, all that great stuff, and we'll send it out.
All right, we're going to do it like we always do. Kame and Ahame and send them home to mommy.
Thank you guys all very much.